Hello, yogis. Welcome to My Dharma. Thank you for jumping online with me today. Thank you for giving us a chance and trusting us with your practice. So today you have chosen to land with me for a 60-minute Yin Yoga class. This is one of my favorite classes, and they're highly underestimated. So although we don't necessarily get fast movement and that sweat and the really deep work with our breath and movement together, Yin offers a whole other area of benefits. So we work into the myofascial tissue. We work deep into the muscles. We work with using our breath to sit with that uncomfortableness. And we work with finding stillness and being okay in that stillness. Because I don't know, I'll speak for myself, but sitting in stillness is one of the hardest things that I have to practice, is allowing the silence to be okay and for the silence to be filling and to fill the room. So it is my practice as a yoga teacher to offer those spaces of silence and not need to fill them like I'm doing right now. And to help you and myself as well work into that stillness and that silence in our bodies and our minds. So today's Yin practice is going to be one of those awesome ones where we're going to sit in silence. We're going to be okay with it. We're going to sit in the ick, and we're going to work on our chakras. So every time we do come into a posture today, well, for the most part, there will be a few that don't hit a chakra, but lots of those big postures we're going to come into in our practice will work at opening a chakra. So I will make sure to mention what chakra we are working in towards at that moment. And then I'm just going to let us be, and I'm going to let us listen to the nice instrumental music I have playing. I have posted that below if you would like to follow it along a little bit louder in your own setting. And I suggest for you to dim down the lights, maybe light a few candles, get a blanket, get some blocks if you have any, or some pillows, or a towel even will work as those props. We're going to get started. So we're going to start with our meditation, and I want you to get comfortable. We are going to hit up a child's pose in our practice today, but it won't be that long. So if you do want to start your practice that way, if that's your way of starting a Yin practice, go for it. Otherwise, you can be seated, laying on your belly, on your back, on your side, sitting up against a wall, really whatever feels most comfortable for you. Once you have found that meditation position, closing down your eyes, allow the hands to be resting comfortably in your lap. Just start to notice the breath. How is your breath feeling? Is it shaky or is it sturdy? Are the breaths even or uneven? Maybe allowing your exhales to become audible. Just really feeling that sense of letting go and landing into the space. And with your next inhale, I want you to feel a big wave of stillness come over the body. As you exhale, feel all that tension washing away. And now with your next inhale, this time imagining a wave of softness landing over your body. As you exhale, letting go of any of that worry or stress. And continue to soften deeper. Soften the forehead, the eyebrows, the jaw, the lips, the shoulders, the fingers, the toes. If it feels appropriate for you to set an intention, to say a prayer, maybe a gesture or a mantra to yourself, coming into the space to do so. You can leave your hands where they feel comfortable or bring them into Anjali Mudra, Heart Center. Releasing those hands, coming back into center. And nice and slowly using the breath to wake up the body. And bring yourself into a seated position if you are not already there. Okay. Now just to come out of that, because we were all in there for a little bit, we're going to find some flow movement. So we're just going to come into some neck rolls. So bringing the chin down to the chest, inhaling the left ear over to the left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Keep going with your own breath. Now, in between our postures today, I will offer a flow movement that will be brief, but just to counter the movement that we just did. Of course, if something feels more intuitive to you, please feel free to do that. With all things, I am just the tour guide. Listen to your body and your breath to know where you need to be. Bringing your head back into neutral. We're going to start off with half butterfly. So we're going to reach that right leg out nice and long, tuck that left leg in. Now, if you have any props, you can use them here. So you can use a pillow or a block. If you have a pillow or a bolster, using it like so is nice. You can do it like this. You can have it lower to support yourself. And then if you need a block, you can add that to the base of your foot to add a little bit more length to the leg if that is something that you are needing as well. Okay, so choosing your option. We are going to be here, let's see, 1.5 minutes. So get nice and comfortable and use the props how you need. So the way we can do this, you can do this. You can turn your torso to line up with that right leg and then hinge forward. Again, using any props where you would like. Another option is to lay your right arm on top of the right leg or in front of it. And then sweep your right arm up and over for those toes, and maybe eventually grabbing onto the toes, just depending on where your practice is at. Okay, so wherever you've decided to land, let's take a nice big inhale and exhale to settle in. Finding the stillness. Let your body surrender. Wherever you've landed, slowly come on out of it. We're going to inhale up, rooting that left hand behind the left glute. Sweep your right arm out in front of you, pushing those hips forward, coming in for a nice little back bend. Then we're going to go back to a seated position. And we're going to switch legs. So we're going to bring the left leg out, tucking that right leg in. And once again, we're going to come in for half butterfly on this side of the body. Again, you have the same options using any props that you would like. So using that pillow or a bolster, whatever that looks like, maybe a block. I totally forgot my mic was there. I apologize. Maybe using a block to lengthen your reach if that's what you're needing. Okay, or you can do the option that I just did on the other side, and I will be taking again on this side, which is to lay that right arm on top of that right leg, or this side, or sorry, left leg. We're on left leg, so left arm on top of the left leg or in front of it, and then sweeping that right arm up and over for those toes. When we do a yin practice, we focus on 3 things: stillness, depth, and time. The first important one is depth. So we want to focus on the depth of the posture, how far we take our bodies, finding that threshold where we feel what's happening, but it's not overwhelming. We can still take a comfortable full cycle of breath. And then finding the stillness there, to not fidget, to just use your breath to hold you there and to hold your focus. And third is time, which is for me to worry about, but it is making sure that we're holding the postures for the appropriate length of time. When you're ready, inhaling up, that right hand rooting behind the right glute. Keep your left arm out and forward, coming to that nice back bend. And coming back to your seated position when you're ready. All right, so now we are going to come into caterpillar. I'm just going to briefly fix my mic. Okay, so when we come into caterpillar, we want to have both of our legs out nice and long. Now I'm going to show you my favorite way to come into caterpillar in a yin practice, because it is comfy and it is juicy and the best. However, there are other options. So you can lay the legs out nice and long using a pillow or a bolster to prop yourself up and just lean your head forward onto that. Or again, just like we did in the half butterfly, laying it along the torso, if that helps. If you have a block, you can bring it to the base of your feet to make that reach a little bit longer. Or you can do what I'm going to do. You can bring that pillow or bolster or rolled up towel underneath the knees. Feel nice and rooted. Make sure we're on those sits bones. And then we'll breathe the arms up, getting nice and long into the spine. And as we exhale, we come forward for those feet. And then eventually tucking the chin and allowing the spine to round. Right, so here we are working into that sacral chakra. Svadhisthana. The color of our sacral chakra is orange. It's responsible for our confidence, our creativity, our sexuality, our insight, our illusion. And so we are working in between the hips is our sacral area. And the chakra is the chakra of feeling or to feel. Breathing here. Okay, when you're ready, walk yourself up, removing any props you've been using. Staying in the seated position, we're going to root the feet down, knees up to the ceiling, and just gently windshield wipe your legs back and forth. Put your legs out nice and wide. We're going to come in for dragonfly or straddle. Okay, so again, we're We're seated nice and high up onto those sits bones. The legs are out nice and long. If you need to put a little bend in those knees, that's a-okay. And then, of course, you're going to use any props out in front of you that you need. We're going to inhale, and with a nice long spine, we're going to exhale to hinge it forward. And once you've found that threshold, with your next exhale, allow your chin to tuck and round through your spine. Again, we're also working into our sacral chakra here, finding the stillness, the softness. When you're ready, using your next inhale to bring you up. Again, removing any props you may have been using, bringing those knees in, washing them from side to side. From there, we're going to roll over the ankles, coming into a child's pose. All right, so for this, I'm just going to grab a blanket. So one moment, sorry. So when we come into a child's pose, your knees can be as wide as your mat or as close together as touching. If you do have a blanket, placing it to the back of your mat to cushion the tops of your feet is a great idea. I am going to take my child's pose with my knees apart in practice today. When we come into our child's pose, we're working on our Anja chakra, so located right behind that forehead, responsible for our intuition, our third eye. So we really want to have the forehead connected down to the mat. But with that being said, you can bring a pillow or a bolster or anything out in front of you to connect yourself down, however that looks. Okay, or maybe laying it out this way. Okay, whatever that looks like for you. So finding that threshold. You can have your palms face down onto the mat or externally rotate the hands so the palms are face up to the ceiling. Maybe bring the palms together into Anjali Mudra and bring that behind your neck. Or maybe extend both of your hands back towards your feet. Whatever feels most natural and best for you in your practice today. I want you to start rocking your forehead side to side, bringing a sense of awakening into that third eye to see where intuition lies, thoughts and dreams, pleasure and guilt. Look how they're represented by this chakra is indigo. And when you're ready, come back into that all fours position, nice and slow. Maybe reaching one leg out nice and long behind you, and then the next. Okay, we're going to come into 3 or 4 cycles of a cat-cow. So just inhaling, looking up. Exhale, rounding, tucking the chin. Do that 2 more times with your own breath. On your next inhale, coming into that neutral spine. Maybe swaying the hips from side to side. Okay. Right hand roots. We're going to inhale that left arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to thread the needle. And yes, we are going to hold this. For those of you who are like, what? We're going to thread the needle in yin? We sure are. We're really going to get into those shoulders right now. Okay, so your right hand is staying rooted where it is, or it's walking out in front of you. That left palm is face up to the ceiling. Close down your eyes. We have about 15 more breaths here. As you exhale, bringing that right hand back if it moved. We inhale to push up and open. Exhale, bringing that left hand down, sway the hips. Left hand roots, right hand goes up. And we're going to thread the needle the other way. Same thing. Left hand can stay where it's at or walk out in front. Focus on the breathing. You can do this. You've been here before. With your next exhale, bring that left hand back. Inhale to push back up and open. Exhale, bring that hand back down, sway the hips. All right, next we're gonna move into that Anahata chakra, or our heart chakra. We're gonna move into heart melting pose. Walk those hands forward. Keep the hips stacked above the knees, and melt the chest down, melt that heart down. Allowing the forearms to rest. Opening up that heart space, that heart chakra. On your next inhale, slowly pushing yourself up, walking yourself back to that all fours position, swaying the hips. All right, we are from here going to step our right foot in between our hands, stretch that left leg back a little. All right, we're coming in for lizard. So we're going to make sure the knee is stacked above that ankle. Both hands are to either side of that foot. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. We're going to take it one step at a time, and then we'll hold in the lizard once we're fully there. Okay, now walking your right foot to the outside edge of your mat. So the right hand is coming to the inside of the right foot. You can stay up onto your forearms, or sorry, up onto your hands, or come down onto your forearms. Okay, and last, you can stay here. We're going to be about 10 more breaths. Or if you want to roll that right foot open to that pinky side edge, and maybe bring your right hand up to the inside of that right thigh, you can do that. We have 10 more breaths. Wherever you've landed, we're slowly going to come back the same way we went into the posture, step by step. From here, take a great big inhale. Exhale, straighten that front leg, go onto the heel, walk the hands back, half split. Tuck the chin if it feels good. Allow yourself to round through the spine. Walking those hands back forward, connecting the right foot, tuck those back toes. Send your right leg up into a 3-legged down dog and open up those hips. Right now, as we exhale, bring that right knee back to the front of your mat, bringing your right knee to your right wrist and your right ankle to your left wrist. We're coming down for pigeon. We're going to work on that solar plexus chakra, our Manipara chakra. Exhale, come on down. Again, find that threshold, that depth. And once you're there, find the stillness that will come along after it. Again, we're working into that solar plexus chakra, located right around the solar plexus. The color here is yellow. It's responsible for our fears, our sense of power, that gut feeling. This is where we find the truth and the lies. Okay, when you're ready, tuck those back toes. Come up onto the hands, push into the hands, and just send that right leg back, coming onto the knees. So we're landing into all fours position. Bring the knees close together. Send the hips back for a child's pose. We're just going to take about 3 breaths here. Come back to all fours. Left leg extends back. And then step that left foot in between your hands, stretching out that back leg a little bit. And we are going to come in for lizard and all its variations. So we're going to start here, take a few breaths, and then take it step by step. And of course, as we are here in lizard, we're working on that sacral chakra in between the hips, svadhisthana, creativity, sexuality, insight, illusion, to feel. Walking both hands to the inside of that left foot, shimmering that left foot over to that edge of the mat, staying up onto the hands, or maybe coming onto the forearms as we have 10 breaths here. If you want to open it up a little bit more, rolling onto the outside edge of that left foot and bringing your left hand to the inside of the leg as we hold here for 10 more breaths. All right, coming back to center, step by step, the same way you went in, foot to the center of the mat, great big inhale. Exhale, straightening that front left leg, rolling back onto the heel. Sending the glutes back to that right heel, but not sitting on them, coming in for that half split. Coming back to center. Hands framing that front foot, tuck your back toes, send the left leg up and through, open up those hips for your three-legged down dog with that variation. And then when you're ready, come on back for pigeon, bringing that left knee to left wrist, left ankle to right wrist. Great big inhale, and we will exhale back down, finding that threshold for a few minutes, working into that solar plex chakra, the Manipura chakra. Okay, when you're ready, once again, come on up. I want you to tuck those back toes, push into the hands, send the left leg back, and then come all the way down onto the belly. Okay, we're going to come into Sphinx. So we're going to open up the throat chakra, our Visuddha chakra. So I want you to have your elbows underneath your shoulders, the hands out in front of you nice and wide. Start with your chin tucked to your chin. Let me try that again. Your chin tucked to your chest. And as we inhale, we'll breathe up, opening up the chest and that throat. Working into the throat chakra or our Visuddha chakra, which is represented by the color blue. responsible for our speaking, our security, our leadership, expression, the willpower, our sharing abilities. To hear is to speak. So you exhale. Let's bring the left ear down to the mat. Having the arms out in a cactus position, so connected to the floor. And then bringing that right knee up beside you, still connecting on the floor. Half frog. So take your next exhale, straightening the right leg. And then connecting your right ear down to the mat. And bringing the left knee up. Same thing, just different side of the body. With your next exhale, straightening the left leg, coming to center. Just bringing the hands underneath the body for support, and we're just going to roll onto our backs. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see me a little bit better. But just rolling onto your back. It doesn't matter if you are facing the wrong way on your mat. Nobody else can see, so don't worry about that. We're going to hug the knees in towards the chest. Lay your arms out in a T position. Allow the knees to fall over to the right, looking up to the ceiling or over to the left. When we come into this posture, we work on our root chakra. It's represented by the color red, responsible for our security, our belonging, the sense of being here, our root. Hugging the knees back to the chest. Rocking side to side if that feels good. And then allowing those knees to fall over to the left. Once again, looking up to the ceiling or over to the right. When you're ready, come to center. From here, finding a closing posture that feels good for you. That could be happy baby, waterfall, maybe a supported bridge, whatever feels good. And then when you're ready, laying those legs out nice and long, allowing the feet to flop open to either side, laying the palms beside you, palms up to receive energy, palms down for grounding. And truly let yourself find as much stillness as you possibly can here. I am watching the time. I will bring the energy back into our space when the time is right. Starting to bring energy back in the body. Small movements of your fingers and your toes. Maybe rolling of your wrists and your ankles. Maybe you reach your arms up above your head and your feet out nice and long for that full body stretch. And then from there, hugging the knees towards the chest, rocking side to side. And then choosing to roll over to the right or the left-hand side of the room. Your right side representing relaxation and your left representing energy. As always, we take this as a chance to reset, restart, and renew. To take what you learned about yourself, from yourself in your practice today, and take that out into life and truly live your yoga. Pushing yourself up into a seated position to close our practice. Trying to keep your eyes closed if you can. The hands resting into the lap, or once again bringing them to Anjali Mudra. We will take a big cycle of breath to close our practice together. Inhaling through the nose, Great big exhale through the mouth. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries, and may the breeze blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through this world and know its beauty for all the days of your life. With all of my light and all of my love, and always humbly in your service. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in practice today. It was a pleasure to be here, and I hope you enjoyed it. So throw a comment below if you did. Feel free to give me any feedback. I'm always open to that. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you are on your free trial, make sure to check out the memberships. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter, and make sure you're signed up for the blog as well. With all that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night. Until I see you again next time, bye-bye.